Right, Shalom, giving all praise unto Yabashima Shabashimako Hakodash. Alright, double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. And honor your brothers to be pushing his truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. The above our body are coming out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh. Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashimako Hakodash. So I'm going to just do a quick response. Go through some precepts. Some World War III precepts. Concerning the situation that you have out here in the Middle East. Out there within the Middle East. That's happening as it happens. And I'm going to go through the scriptures, and probably the first scripture I'm going to go to is the book of Revelations, the 13th chapter, which is a prophecy that must needs come to pass before any type of World War III takes place. So it says here, Iran, Israel attack Tehran to be hit with new sanctions as Israeli cabinet files response to strike. And we're already seeing what's happened, heard what's happened. All right, the United States, let's close that down. The United States will hit Iran with new sanctions, which is economic warfare. You know, in the beginning of many wars before it turns hot, you got a lot of economic sanctions that go back and forth. So that's a move on the United States part, which as we get closer to the MLTB system, you know, there's going to be sanctions flying left, right, and center, back and forward, to make it more difficult for everybody to maneuver. And ultimately, these cold wars, proxy wars, economic sanctions, which is another form of war, they lead to hot war. The U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, Salakia, which sounds like an Amalekite. Yellen, that sounds like an Amalekite. So the measures would aim to reduce Tehran's capacity to export oil, so you can expect oil prices to fluctuate, and the ability to finance its proxies. Okay, so I mean the thing out there with Amalek, it's not looking good. All right, the rhetoric is not the rhetoric is not looking good against them. All right, people ain't in support of this anymore. They realize the hypocrisy, but you know, with the enterprise of the wicked, they must needs move on, because this is their kingdom. All right, if you're finding out that they're the wicked now, or they're liars and this, that, and the third, you know, you're late to the game. Okay, you're late to the game, because these guys have been pulling all kind of stunts for the longest time, on a small scale, on a big scale, on a grand scale, on a minor scale. They've been pulling all kind of stunts. All right, Iran launched the attack in retaliation to airstrikes on its embassy compound in Damascus. So, you know, they was kind of justified in doing so, and you can see how the scripture says that the least of them, which is Amalek, shall draw them out to the war. Okay, so that's pretty much it on the article. Let's go into scriptures, and yeah, you know what, I can start here. But actually, what I'm going to do is we'll go to the book of Revelations, like I said, 13. Revelations 13 and 16, wherewith the scripture says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive a mark in their right hand or in the foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he hath the mark, or the beast, or the number of his name. So that's what's coming out here. The MLTB is going to be unleashed upon the face of the earth, and you know, there's no proxy war that's gonna, I mean, there's going to be wars that's going to play out. There's going to be proxy wars that's going to play out. But there's no World War III up until that comes to pass. So, you know, this is exciting news. And we see the downfall of this kingdom in real time. But ultimately, we understand that the MLTB must be made mandatory first. Mark 13 and 8. For nation shall rise up against nation, kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes. And we've seen, you know, earthquakes all over the place, in different places, and there shall be famines. We've seen famines all over the place, and they shall be. These are the beginnings of sorrows, right? So we're in the beginnings of sorrows. We're in the time of, you know, a nation coming up against a nation, which is the leading to the time that's known as the time of Jacob's trouble. Amos 9 and 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord power. I want you to see the contrast here of how these scriptures are written. So we got the downfall of this kingdom described here from Amos 9 and 8 to 10, and also the restoration of the children of Israel that's happening in real time. So as one hand is lifted up, which is the right hand, the left hand is being pushed down. Amos 9:8, as the Lord power upon the sinful kingdom, and I'll destroy it off for the face thereof. I'll destroy it utterly from the face of the earth. Saving utterly, I will not destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. For lo, I will command and I'll sift the house of Israel from among all nations like corn is sifted in the sieve. So the Lord is sifting us. The Lord is raising up. And like the apostle said, we believe that the elect is almost sealed. Or if it's not already sealed, it's almost sealed. For the simple fact that this, YouTube has pushed this word out there throughout the four corners of the earth to the point YouTube is going to really have an algorithm drive what you can see to try and suppress this truth. But ultimately, the truth's going to get out there one way or another. One way or another. Even if you gotta come in via these Edomite friendly prophets out there. Maybe you're watching them and you keep on hearing them speak about the Great Millstone Group. Ultimately, you're gonna see a situation where, the wine that they're providing you is not enough. You need a little bit more. And as a direct consequence of that, you're going to find your way to Great Millstone some way or another, man. Okay? Let's not use the Great Millstone. Let's say Yahweh Shai. You're going to find your way to Yahweh Shai. Okay? Same thing with these Christian churches. A lot of these Christians, they know about the Israelites. They know about the Israelites. And, questions are going to be asked. Questions going to be asked. And really, that's the sifting process. That's the most I put in the spirit upon a man to find his way back home. Right? But, this is happening in conjunction. The restoration of the children of Israel is happening in conjunction with the downfall of the red Hebrew Edomite Esau. So let's get some more precepts. Let's go to the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter. Joel 3, and this is kind of like the same type of precept that we just read. The book of Joel, the 3rd chapter. And the first verse on down, it says, For behold, in those days and in that time will I bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. I will also gather all the nations and bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, and plead with them there for my people and my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered amongst the land. And that's the spirit that's out there, where these nations are coming up against each other. But we understand it's not going to be things that's going to happen. A little tactical ICBM one way, little spats are here and there. But when the world is on its knees because of the economic crises that these proxy wars may incur, when the world is on its knees, that's when Esau's going to come with a solution, which is the MLTB, and we know then that's when the World War III is going to take place, and that's when the Most High is going to unleash his fury upon his nations as they're participating in their World War III. The scripture says the Most High was going to stop them from that, and they're gonna be taken into the World War III. They're going to try to fight up against Yahweh Shai and be cast down. And we can read a little bit about that within the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter, to close out. So, Revelations 12:7, it says, And there was war in heaven, which this heaven here is the Shemayim, the skies that you can see here, the clouds and all of that. Michael and his angels fought up against the dragon. The dragon is not some snake or the spiritual demon Satan. All right, this is the dragon. This is the Edomites, spoken about within the book of Revelations, the 20th chapter. And the dragon fought with his angels and prevailed not, neither was his place anymore in heaven. Why does it say heaven? Because when we read about Capernaum was exalted unto heaven, and so too was Esau exalted unto heaven. The scripture says he had the fatness of the earth. Right? Scripture says that he had the fatness of the earth, but he was going to be cast down. And that's a rhetoric and a metaphorical speech from the ancient world that describes a person falling down from a great position to a low position, a lowly position. And we see the same descriptive manner used for the children of Israel within the book of Isaiah, the 5th chapter, on the 13th verse, wherewith the scripture says, for all intents and purposes, that we was cast down. That great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. So dragon, Esau literally flew the banner of the dragon during the Roman times, namely Draco's army, the standard of I believe it was the foot soldiers, was the dragon. And they would literally fly a dragon within the sky as they approached to an army. That old serpent, because ultimately, when you really understand the process of reincarnation, you understand that Adam wasn't in the garden on his own. There was loads of people there with him. Loads of people were there with him. Okay? And with the vast, with a lot of people there that was with him, there was also the seed of the wicked, which that's what the scripture speaks about when it speaks about the serpent. And in conjunction to that precept, in order for you to be able to understand, you need to understand that within the book of Ecclesiasticus, it describes that we should flee sin, right? And the sinful people, by proximity of sin, we will be fleeing the people of sin as fleeing from a serpent. So if a people is been designed to be wicked, and we see that there's a people that's been designed to be wicked via the book of Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right, so we see there's a people that was designed to be wicked. Then you can call them the serpent, because anything that's going to come from them is going to be wicked. Right, that's the serpent, right? And the devil, because the scripture says that they were going to be allowed to rule for a certain dispensation of time, and the Most High was going to allow them to deceive the world. So hence, devil, an adversary, which is the word Satan here, and Esau's been the adversary of life. We know that, which deceived the whole world. And he was cast out into the earth, him and his angels. So that's what's going to happen. First must come the chip. After the chip, then the World War III. After the World War III, Yahushua is going to come. These nations are going to fight against each other. And in fighting against each other, Yahushua is going to beat them down. So it's lucky. And we rephrase that because I got carried away there. Right? First is going to be the time of Jacob's trouble. Esau is going to present the world with the solution to the time of Jacob's trouble, which is going to be the CHIP. And it's going to be the World War III. Amidst the World War III, Yahushua is going to return, and these nations are going to leave off from fighting against each other and try to fight against Yahushua. But they're not going to prevail. They're going to be cast down into the earth. Okay? So that's the order of things. All right? And it's not going to change. So that's it, man. Hopefully that was of edification. With that, I say, oh, praise unto Yahweh. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. Honest your brothers, deep pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.